Hello my friends, it's Jamie Greene once again from the Off the Couch program, session number 9. We're almost there. Session number 9, very, very important stuff. Now this has to do with overcoming all of the kind of inhibitions that keep us from expressing ourselves freely, kind of in an uninhibited way. What I talked about is what is assertiveness. Assertiveness training is something that came out of the 60s, and the idea here is that by being assertive, we're overcoming any kind of inhibitions and anxiety. Essentially, that you can't be assertive and anxious at the same time, which I think is actually right on. Now, let's understand what assertiveness means. Well, I can't assert something unless I have something that I stand for, that I'm asserting within me. In other words, I have to know what I stand for. What are my beliefs? What are my core values? What are my personal terms, you might say, before I can start declaring them to you and not being railroaded by you or being intimidated by you. So the idea is that two things. One has to back up and get in touch with, what do I stand for? What do I represent? What are my core values? What are absolutely uncompromising? So here's a simple example. For me personally, my word is gold. I am reliable, I'm dependable. Everyone knows who works with me, my friends, that they will always get a very prompt return text, email, phone call. Those of you who know me watching this going, that's absolutely right. I've never blown you off. I've never not kept my word or followed through. That's a term for me. That's not something that I do to please you. It's just who I am. I know the importance of dependability. I know what it means to be trusted and be consistent in that way. We talked about trust earlier in many of the sessions. So the idea being here that that's a term. You can't get me to compromise my term. You can't get me to be late. You're not going to convince me of being a flake or to not return your phone call. That's my choice. So this idea that people, made us do it, that doesn't exist, really. That's all a cop-out. That's back to the victim thing. So in order to assert oneself, one has to be very clear about what I represent, what I stand for, and to have the courage and the freedom to express it in the face of the fear of rejection that you may not like it, respect it, agree with me, or even be nice to me. We've got to get over all of that approval-seeking stuff. In fact, this is the secret to overcome it. Make sure that you have something that you stand for, express it directly, and confront that person on whatever it is that's not working for you. So this idea that you made me do it, it can never ever hold up anymore. All right? So what we're talking about is, how do I stand up on my own terms for what I stand for, what I represent, without compromise? That is the secret to being effective in communication. We've got one more week left of my 10-week Off the Couch program. So please, if you've missed any of these, I would suggest you either go to the playlist I have on my jamiegreene.com/off the couch. If you go there, you'll see that I have a whole list of different videos. But most importantly, take the time to give yourself the gift of being part of my next 10-week course. It starts on Sunday, May 4th. You can see the registration buttons all over my website. Don't miss out. There's some really great tools here, and it'd be a shame for you to miss it. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next week for the last and final session.